What's up, everybody? Me back in the series, and this is Fox Hime. I don't know how this will all work. I mean, with the whole series thing, because of Fox Hime Zero. I'm not saying that won't get series. Just the way I'm recording is going to be the same as I recorded last one. But that being said, Fox Hime Zero was made after Fox Hime, so I don't really know how the story will work, because this is before. So sometimes having a prequel, before I call it prequel, doesn't always work unless you know what you're doing, I guess. Because then this is after, this is before Fox Hime Zero. I don't know where the story is, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be after anyway, unless it's its own little thing, it's like a same universe, or maybe a different life, who knows. Maybe this is when they got together, and then the next life they found the same girl. Don't know. Anyway, with that being said, well, actually, real quick, I wanna check this. What's Digimon? It's significantly less than the last one, showing 19. But again, though, I guess it's not much different, technically, too, because the last one had like 90 something, like 94, 95. But it also had a lot of variances. So some CG were like 3 different types of CG, like the same look but maybe a different facial expression. So I checked. I was gonna do this with a full playthrough, like just that video, like just a full playthrough of its own, and not do a walkthrough of it. But I realized this might be 2-3 hours long. It's very varied. Fox Hime Zero was like 4 hours, so I knew how long it was going to be. Like every video was about 4 hours for a full playthrough. But this one, I've seen an hour, I've seen 2, I've seen almost 4. So I don't know how to judge it, I don't know how long it's going to be, so I'll probably do this in a series, just like everything else. Anyway, with that being said, let's start with Fox Hime. It has the same kind of setup, okay. Starts. It's probably going to be a little bit more outdated, since it's a year before. I can wait till it's a little bit more, the art's a little bit more different, but I don't mind that one bit. But I open my eyes in the morning. I catch my eyes and fully turn, I switch over the edge of the bed. Seems she hasn't hit her tail again. Fortunately, no one is around, otherwise it'd be terrible if I saw it. After all, she is a fox spirit. I get up. I have a mysterious idea after seeing it. Having a mysterious idea after seeing it while getting dressed. I reach out to touch the flapping tail. Oh, well, as soon as I touch the tail, it withdraws into the curtain. What do you think you're doing? Followed by a rebuke from the owner of the tail. You're awake. Then when you get up? Why is she so careless if she's awake? Isn't she worried about fighting us? Do you have to be so loud? Oh, she's adorable. Can I hide the... Okay. So it literally... I think I took water. It literally has the same UI and everything. Which is pretty simple. Plus you don't want to change too much from each game. The owner of the tail opened the curtain and that her face is so close to mine, as if we're going to kiss. I just saw your tears and I couldn't resist. Okay, so it's the end, okay. Oh no, the tail is Mori, a fox bear who lives with me. Don't do that again, really, so try this. Okay, I won't do it again, but you need to hurry. My first class this morning is linear algebra, and the teacher is so strict he almost always checks the attendance in every class, so I don't want to be late. What's the time now? Almost 8:30? Really? Mori looks around at the glass at the alarm clock. What? It's only 8:30? If you can spare the time to touch my chair, you should wake me up. Turn around. Okay, fine, Lady Mori. Okay, is there any reason for her to get so mad when she turned off the alarm herself? Mori closed the curtain and I turned away at the same time. Mr. Watson sounded close and the bed squeaking from behind the curtain. She must be getting changed. Followed by the sounds of her getting out of bed and climbing softly down the wooden ladder. I'm done. You changed your clothes really quickly this time. Really? I think I was running the same pace before. It didn't feel any quicker. By the way, Mori, do you have to turn away? Do I have to turn away every time? Of course, we're adults now. I can't possibly change clothes in front of you. No, I mean I can't see any even if I don't turn away. This curtain is closed tight. Mori seems to have thought about that as well. But speaking as a girl, the curtain has nothing to do with this. By the way, if I turned around, could you sense it from behind the curtain? Of course. Do you forget who I am? Well, I'm going for a wash. After a wash, Mori goes back to the bedroom to prepare for class. Then it's my turn to use the bathroom. Because I didn't restrain myself and said too much, I wasted time. I could only brush my teeth and wipe my face quickly before going out. At the same time, I hear Mori closing the door behind her bedroom door. Let's go. Remember to hide your ears and tail. Beware of who might want to catch you for scientific research. That's where I need to check something. I don't know if they couldn't do it, but I type in. Guess not. Okay. Guess in the last one she could talk. This one she can't. What a bummer. I would love to hear her talk. It's fine. I just strain my voice a lot more. Let's go. Remember how to use it too. Okay, I'll rewrite that. I will. Why are women so wicked? It's not fair to blame all humans. I mean, some people, most of us are very kind. For example, there's a good guy, he won't peep at a pretty girl getting dressed every morning. Are you talking about yourself? This girl has keen instincts which is unexpected. It's certainly not wrong to say that. Oh no, you're actually okay. Of course, I won't adopt you to do any form of research. But at times you act just like a child. That's really annoying. Isn't it good to retain some of the innocence a child would have? Come on, you know if I had a girlfriend if you keep acting like this. Mori son, you said to me seriously. Since you said that, I will find a girlfriend and show it to you. Don't cry and say you are lonely then. Huh? Don't be so arrogant till you really find one. We kept arguing with each other and walked out of our residence, an old bookstore that permitted us to work here. Okay, I guess we're not together. The same day, which is hot as hell. Two girls walking along the street are already holding up their umbrellas. So hot, Mori. Wouldn't it be better to shade under an umbrella? I like that it's actually a movement kind of thing. That's pretty cool. Why? I'm not afraid of the sun. But that look more similar. But that look more similar to human cool. See, they're all holding umbrellas. You have a point. Then she takes out a sea blue umbrella from her satchel. Let me hold it. Why, thank you. Then she passes the hand to me. I take it, open, and tip the umbrella slightly towards her. I really like when they have like an actual movement thing. It's just recycling images, so you know after a while it just cuts back and it'd be like the same door you see every time. But I do like when it actually does that. Makes you feel like you're watching anime. Maybe I know the reason why I don't have a girlfriend. Why? You see, we was going to university together. I just might have thought you were my girlfriend, so how many other girls dare to approach me? Mori stops and looks at me scornfully. I can think of another reason why you don't have a girlfriend. Ouch! Why? Putting the blame on a weak girl like me, do you think you can find a girlfriend? See, you have nothing to say, does it make sense? You're being irrational, you aren't weak. But there's logic in this. See, because of me, there are so many people who would pay attention to you every day. And that would greatly increase attention to the girls who know you. That should work on your advantage. Being possessed by an evil spirit is an advantage? Evil? Mori stops again and begins to take something from her satchel. Seriously, she's holding up a notebook and starts to blush though. She taps my hand that's holding on bare like a dragonfly skimming over the water. Screw you! Don't you dare call me evil spirit again. Oh no, please spare me, Great Fox. Right now, we're overhearing other students' conversation when they walk near us. Look, the couple started flirting for each other so early in the morning. He was right. He even called her some kind of great one. That's really too much. Mori is a fox spirit from the fainted in our town. I have to see something about her. She could be considered a goddess. This is literally, literally a, I don't know what song it's called. But it's definitely something you would see in a lot of YouTube videos. That's not made soundtrack. That's taken. My mom said I had quiet excessive after I was born, and I seemed to cry without ends. Although crying is normal for a baby, never cried as severely as I did. I grew up, I asked my mom. Since I cried so severely back then, how did I get cured? That was really a problem. Mom laughed after hearing my question. We went to many hospitals and saw make doctors. All of them said you were fine. Oh, that was so frustrating. Later, we came across a festival parade on the way to the hospital. You cried again, but you still wanted to see the procession. So I held you up and made a wish to the fox effigy at the head of the procession. I wished for the fox spirit of the shrine to guide you as you go up. You immediately stopped crying when the procession had passed. It's that amazing? Of course, the fox spirit had answered a lot of prayers, see? She has been with you since. Indeed, that is the case. The fox spirit has manifested itself as Mori, has been by my side for as long as I can remember. She's also different from humans, occasionally revealing her fox ears and ears. So whenever Mori leaves, start protecting me. When Yan Chin is old enough. But when am I old enough? At the moment, my mom just smiled and became quiet. But somehow, I kept wondering when would Mori leave me. We arrived at the school canteen. I'd like a deluxe sandwich today. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. But Mori swiped the debit card machine and displayed a string of red zeros. The manager paid his salary a few years ago. You always spent all of it? Girls are different from boys. They spend their money on things which cost more. That seems to make sense. Fine, it's on me. Okay. I mean, not wrong, but still. I mean, I buy a lot of expensive stuff. I mean, I buy these games, and my gaming laptop, and my TV, but still, I have money. Auntie, Two do like sandwiches. Your chin is so reliable. Okay. We bought breakfast, found a spare table, and sat down. Although it's almost time for class, the canteen is still quiet with students. College students sure like to take their time without worrying about getting into hot water for being late. Some of the kids just look weird. Like the girl in the back, she does not look white. She looks really weird. Kinda looks like maybe somebody from like Assassination Classroom, except for the yellow tentacles. Way up in E, it's almost time for class. The leading algebra teacher is very strict. He checks attendance at every class. That sounds terrible. You can't get your friends to answer for you? You sure do have mysterious ideas. Fortunately, I'm strong-willed, or I would have to sing bad habits to you sooner or later. You taught me this trick. Mori raised her head and stared at me. Well, I don't remember that. I said you were reliable just now. I should take back my words. In fact, I don't have any close friends to help me answer the teacher's roll call. Our school adopted an optional class system, so even if you're assigned to the same class but you choose different teachers, you wouldn't have class together. After classes, it's impossible for everyone to gather because it's a free period. Yeah, it is unlikely for students to become good friends with each other unless they are fellow roommates. For Mori and me, both of us took the same part-time job together. Both of us also living together in the room that books still offer. Since we aren't staying in dormitories, we aren't close to anyone besides each other. It's not difficult to draw attention. I drink. I like school aesthetics though. School aesthetics are probably one of my favorite things. It's when I started watching anime, a lot of anime. I used to watch a lot of school type anime because that's what caught my eye. It wasn't too stressful most of the time. It was like comedy, romance. You know, kind of why I think I like the romance visual novels more than anything. So, but I do have a heart for game style in school aesthetic and visual novels and anime. Though I do watch other stuff, but school aesthetics are usually the ones I go for a lot more. I'll reach the classroom, the teacher showed me begin his lecture. I sneak in through the back door and quietly take a seat next to the wall in the last row. Then I open my book and try to pay attention to class. But soon I begin to feel sleepy. The teacher is just like a change of old mind. I can't stand it all. Other people are talking about unrelated things in a low voice. No one is really listening. What a poor teacher. Well, what's the relationship between A and B? So I hear the teacher's question when I'm about to doze off. What if I answer the question loudly? Liya and independence? Which one came out of my mouth before I could show my thoughts? Class immediately became quiet before they burst into laughter. It's really embarrassing. It's not the blush. Seems I'm still not used to attention by others. Yes, at this time A and B are linear and independent. But because the teacher didn't expect anyone to enter him, he also paused for a while, then continued with the lecture. I regained my senses. I noticed there's a ghost seated next to me. I look at her and around the whole classroom. I look back at her. Did you do that on purpose? The ghost still laughing but covering her face. No, you should have noticed that I was dozing off. But dozing off doesn't mean falling asleep. You were still conscious. And he must have given you answer after using your brain to think about it. Do it. Surprisingly, I'm convinced by her and my lost for words. But that's too much of an exaggeration. You wanted that attention from others so badly? Of course not. I tried it because I thought that would be fun. That's true. You're eye-catching though. There's no need for you to do anything to get attention. How could you say that? I'm very ordinary. Right? Just look at me over again. Right, I'm not eye-catching at all. Even for my interests now, everyone would just laugh it off and forget it in no time. That's right, after all, you're not among their circle of friends, but you aren't the reason you're eye-catching. Or is it because I'm sitting next to such a cute girl like you? You're a smooth talker. It would be terrible if your girlfriend heard such words from you. The girl is laughing and blushing at the same time. I don't have a girlfriend yet. So who was with you this morning? Oh, you mean Mori? That's Why you said I was eye catching? Your girlfriend's name is Mori. That's a nice name. She's not my girlfriend. I don't know how to say it. More like brother and sister, guardian. Yes, guardian. You're a strong, hefty boy, and you still need a girl to protect you. Don't think it's... I can't quite explain it. You might get a better picture of just a chance in the future. I'll explain more with you indeed. We look like a couple of others. I'm Liya. Since we're in the same class, what's it fair to sit together and chat for such a long time today? It'd be nice to introduce ourselves. Yes. It's like we were separated as if we were thousands of miles apart, yet we still came together as if it's predestined. I'm Yen. What the heck was that? I would just call you Yen Shin. Nice to meet you, and it would be nice if you could save a seat in front of me sometimes. The girl was looking at me shyly. It's okay to accompany any seat, but I recall that there was no one at the desk when I entered the classroom, so in that case, are you brave enough to walk in front of the teacher? Don't worry, I'm late only for today. It won't happen again. Are you late every day? This girl is so confident. Not always. Sometimes I come here quite early. That's good. Come here early sometimes should be enough. But if you arrive earlier than me, you have to save a seat for me, okay? No problem. Okay, then give me one of your items. When the time comes and you see your items on your desk, you know it's reserved for you. Is that necessary? Of course. I'll also give you one of my items to you. Okay, I can give you mine, but I don't need yours. You can just sit beside me. The desk next to me will always be reserved for you. He looked at my eyes for a while, smiling and took out the book card. Tried to see if human from a satchel, then she plucked it on the desk. From now on, you could use this to occupy a seat, so I can immediately find the seat you reserved for me. I took the book, which was a kilogram, and hold it in my hands. Do you bring this book in your bag every day? Yes. Is there any problem? No, but I think I made a very strong arm muscles. Yeah, and the gun should be used as a weapon. Liya sees it proudly. Weapon to attack others physically or theoretically? Maybe both. Class is over. Yes, let's go. Whistle's bell rang. Liya started to pack up her books on the desk. You're very interesting. Did the teacher check the attendance for today? I don't know. As I said, the class had already started when I arrived. Go and check, but hurry, the teacher's leaving. Liya, behind me, we pushed past other students towards the teacher. Teacher, we have attendance to this class. I didn't check the attendance today. Are you confused? Because you have been sleeping? The teacher recognized me. That's terrible. I look back at Liya and notice she's continuing. What a tricky girl. Get a little water. The winter go shopping goes. It's funny because they give me those like, which game basically looks like loading screens, and they have a different like pixel go. So I thought it cycles through every loading screen. No, it just shows the next character. When I returned to a bookstore in the afternoon, the senior showed where you're working. Yanchin, the manager assigned tasks to you and Mori for this month. I've already told Mori hers. The manager also wanted me to inform you that he hoped you can do a great job like last month. The senior looks like a gentle and fine girl. Although there aren't many opportunities to talk with her, whenever I see her work, she's very honest and efficient. Well, what a reliable senior. The manager is always searching for all types of old books throughout the year. He's hardly at the store, so he left almost all of the work a day he worked to the senior. As for Mori and I, our jobs require us to transcribe the old books he found, and the transcribes look similar to handwritten ancient books in an antiquarian bookstore. The printing techniques are so advanced nowadays. Why is our manager still clinging to handwritten books? Does anyone else buy them? Usually some customers will come in and browse, although there are a few people who would buy this type of book. Some still occasionally buy them. Anyway, handwritten books have their own advantages in which those cheap printed versions can never match. I don't care too much about these. Some customers have also praised the beauty of handwriting in our shop's books. Mori probably wrote them. You're too modest. Not really, I'm going upstairs first if to say nothing else. Okay, go ahead. My bedroom is in the bookstore second floor, which used to be the utility room. I'm back. Just getting undressed. Oh, that's bad. If you live together with a girl, shouldn't you like knock? Well, I guess unless you're together and you don't care about seeing each other like that, then I guess it doesn't matter at that point. Yanshin? Yeah? What? Yeah? Seen enough? Enough? Why are you still sitting there? Do you want me to poke your eyes out? No? Get out right now! Okay. Really? I can sense Mori's anger even through the closed door. So sorry, Lady Mori. Maybe my fault for not locking for us, but she's closed without locking the door. How clear can she get? Okay, you can come in. After a while, Mori's finished changing. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Okay, I know you didn't mean it. Mori's short and sitting. Remember to knock on the door. If there's someone else inside, you might end up in the hospital. Yes, I will. This is a stupid guy. Just get some rest. And come with me to the supermarket later. I need to buy something. Snacks? I also have items I need to buy in addition to snacks. Don't even have any money. Okay, I don't have optional class snack. Do you want to go to the bigger supermarket further away? The prices for items there are cheaper. Good idea. I dropped the heavy backpack on my bed. I heard from my senior just now that she already told you about your work for this month. How is it? It's okay, it's not too much. I can finish it in about 20 days. Mori points to our desk. I turn around to see 3 books that are a little bit tattered. Nevertheless, it's still unfair to have 4 books. Don't put a complaint to me either. I can't help you if you really can't manage them. You're right, I'll find a way if I really can't finish. I'm gonna go to a supermarket at 5 o'clock and have dinner outside. Okay, that sounds good, but we still have plenty of time before 5 o'clock. Then we'll work for a while. I walk to the desk. Seems I'll have to work hard to finish it. I'll start to. Mori sits next to me. We start on transcribing these ancient books. For a while, there's silence except for the scratch inside the pens. No complex technique is needed for this job, although the pages is a bit tired, the contents are mostly legible. Occasionally there are parts that are damaged, but we can guess its meaning after a quick analysis. Just now, the signal said some customers praised the beautiful handwriting in our store's books. Usually we will write quietly and hardly say anything to each other. But today, I just wanted to travel more. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything better for a conversation. Shall I mention what the senior told me? Really? The actual way any books are sold today? Mori doesn't stop writing even though she's talking to me. Right now, she has a different aura about her. She's sitting on the wooden shield dimly, and her gentle face from the side reminds me of a clear sky at dawn. I think those customers must be referring to the books she transcribed. They aren't necessarily mine. There are many handwritten books that will heal before me. I've seen those books on the shelves, and none of them are better than yours. That's just your own opinion. Different people have different opinions. Even that's true, no one will deny beautiful thing. Take Senior and myself for instance. We think your handwriting is good. That's a weird way to say it. I mean, even if people see things differently, they should still have some things in common. Otherwise, everyone would be like an island by itself. That sounds reasonable. I skipped it too quick. We'll become silent, I think, was it? We look like a couple or 2 others. Suddenly, I remember that girl I met in class, Liya. A girl told you that? Yes, indeed. Would you be upset if I was your girlfriend? Why would I? If my girlfriend is as beautiful as you, then my life must be blessed by the gods. And Chin, you definitely get girlfriend with such a sweet tongue. Mori, put your pen on the desk and looks at me. Now I do call girls beautiful if they don't think they are, but I don't think I could say something like that, so nonchalant. I know they're probably close and they probably know each other for years, but I don't know if I can say something so like out there without being like anxious. There's only one Mori in this world. I'm a fox spirit, Yunshin's guardian spirit. Sorry, Mori has a serious expression on her face. I know. I put my pen down, trying to look at her. I get it, Lady Fox. Don't make such a scary face. Well, you're a child who can't seem to grow up. Mori turned back and became preoccupied for her own work. Likewise, I turned back and resumed transcribing. Tears came between her skin. Oh, why, it's about time. Let's prepare our things before going out to the supermarket. Okay. In fact, there isn't much to do in particular to prepare. I'll take my public transport card and wallet from the door, that's all I need. Don't forget your public transport card. I already got it. Then let's go. How about going to the restaurant and find the supermarket to have dinner for us, and then we take out time to go shopping? Okay, we could do that. From the bookstore to the supermarket, we will need to catch a train and change. During our train, the total time taken will be about an hour. At least we have no other plans for the evening. The subway station is a short distance to the right of the bookstore, and the station is named after our school. Trains run out more frequent invoice over this period when people normally finish work, so we only waited for a short while before boarding the train. Mankind is so good at being lazy. Why is suddenly criticizing all mankind? They didn't name the subway station well and just copied it from our school's name. Many words in city are also named after other places. Too late thought put into it. I don't think it's a bad thing, it's easy to remember, and it's convenient for people when they go out. You have a point. The train starts to move, and the attractive faces smiling on the advertising posters begin to flash past the window. Soon Mori becomes sleepy and leans against my shoulder. Take a nap, I'm here. I'll lay you asleep. Go over your ears and tail. I say to her gently. That's okay. Have you ever seen a girl revealing her ears and tail before? Those are accessories for cosplay. Don't worry. She fell asleep after saying those words, take for your ears and tail remain hidden. But it's probably like what she said, people inside the train are probably looking down at the cell phones and aren't paying any attention to us. We transfer to that train. It's their time when we arrive at the supermarket at 6 in the evening, Wednesday morning. We usually go for dinner at the school's canteen around the same time, whenever we have classes in the afternoon. At your restaurant after opening the glass doors, a long enthusiastic waitress carrying a menu comes over to pick a table for two people near the window and starts to place orders. How about something to drink for us? The lighting in the restaurant is great. They are bright without being too glaring. Mori is in a good mood as well. Relax from my opinion, just order what you like. Oh, Yanshin is so cool and he's a rich guy. You know very well how rich I am, but you're late in finding out that I'm cool. I finally see some flaw in what you don't appreciate it. How real can a date with your girlfriend go by acting like that? We are dating now. We are eating out in the restaurant face to face. What does it look like to us? When you put it this way. Just kidding. Mori giggled while saying it. I'll take a glass of frappuccino and an omelette. I like a warming set meal. For the drink, make it cola. Make it a cola. After writing down our orders, the waitress leaves with an awkward smile. After a short while, she brings us other drinks. Yanshin, how about you try get a girlfriend? Based on what you just said, I just have the impression that I already have a girlfriend. You mean us? Of course. I nod and look at her seriously. Besides, other girls can't catch my eye when I see a beauty like Mori every day. In fact, I'm not close to anyone except Mori. That sounds like a lie. Fellow classmate Yanshin. Other girls like to hear flattering words. You better know your limits, or have the opposite effects. But it's true, if no girl can compare to you. If there is one, I will pursue her for sure. Oh, for sure? Sure, but there is no such girl. We lower our heads and store the drinks with our snores in silence. Don't worry, there will be a girl that will be at your side, and you will definitely fall in love with her. You say that with so much confidence. I am a fox spirit. Even a fox spirit can do whatever it wants. After at least you have an dinner, we go to the supermarket. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen. This is all superstition. So I had to catch my breath. It's the fact that because Ian's mom mentions about the fox spirit will stay with him until he's old enough. And I think that time is when he gets a girlfriend. That's the only thing that makes sense. He'll be old enough once he gets actual girlfriend. But I don't know if the fox spirit would be the girlfriend though. Try to tell. It's not a sequel like I thought it was. It's kind of sad because I would love to see a sequel how they did things. And I mean, this will kind of set up one. If they just change a couple things to Liya bring her back and they were together, it would work perfectly as the way it is. But it's like its own like story, so. And even the supermarket's full of people. Mori takes a shopper cart at the supermarket's entrance and runs straight to the snack section. It's as if she's two entirely different individuals compared to when she's serious. Take it easy. Perhaps the fox spirit also has his own willful nature. Maybe he has always been straightforward. I think I'm gonna see while following her. I am Mori. Mori suddenly stops and looks back at me with a smile. What are you thinking? I should be the one asking you. You went so quickly. What if you hit someone? Relax, I won't. See? Mori pushed the carts once again. No, his statement is soon proved wrong. Got the corner of the share the two shopper carts slammed together loudly. Ouch, ouch. See, now you have hit someone. I'm gonna show her this familiar looking girl sitting in front of the store and shares against the wall. How much force did it take to knock someone down? Oh no, Yanshin. I really did hit someone. I shouldn't be saying this by now. What luck today. I misplaced my dates for class this morning and was late because of it. And now I'm knocked down by a car. What an evil prank by the gods. She didn't shrill. She has a surprisingly good character. At this time, Mori should apologize or hip to go up, but she's just standing there. Are you okay? It's up to me to extend my hand to help pull up. The girl raises her head, while her eyes are filled with surprise, yet she doesn't take my hand immediately. My oh my, it turns out the culprit is Mr. Liya Independency. What Mr. Liya Independency? Yeah, didn't I tell you my name? Or that's too plain, I can't remember it. This girl is sharp tongue isn't that much sense for Mori's. Why do I always encounter this kind of girl? Fine, let's put aside the issue of my name. Did you find the floor nice and cool? Liya heard me say it, she blushed immediately. What? Dang, Poover, what are you looking at? Not only did she blush, but she also became angry. What am I looking at? Isn't it obvious? I'm looking at you. You're looking at me? What, I'm not allowed to look? Ow! My leg suddenly got stuck and I nearly fell down. You deserve it. Perverts. She stands up if I didn't help at all. Wait. Why are you looking for in my car? Don't tell me there's a nutty freaking thick book inside. Kick and retreat to one side and take up a sense. Since you already know about it. She gives a disdainful expression. Over half that kind of day now. This is a supermarket. That's true. I remember this girl. I'd say she's always carrying that extra thick book. Do you both know each other? Mori asked. It's not the girlfriend Mr. Liya appearance. Oh, so both of you work together to hurt me? That's right. Who told you to take my Yenshin away from me? Oh, no, wait. Take Yenshin away from me? That's funny. It's not funny. The odds between the two become delicate, and I feel I should just go away. Oh, Yenshin says he isn't seen anyone now. Will he? Mori gives a surprised expression. Yenshin, what a loser. What a loser, and you actually toured with my feelings. Yes, wiping away tears for saying it. Wait, we just met today. How did it develop to a point of touring with your feelings? And Mori, don't chuckle and lie so calm at the same time when your face is flushed. By the way, Yenshin told me if a girl has the courage to be around me, he would pursue her and make her girlfriend. Oh. Yenshin suddenly backs up after hearing Mori's window looks at us with suspicion. Indeed, you're a pervert. I didn't do anything at all. Indeed, are you heartless when you say such things in front of a girl you get along with after so many years? It seems right to call you a pervert. Why is the guy always get this kind of treatment? I think there's only one version I've ever played where it kind of escalated that way, but it stopped real short and the girl said sorry because of how everything was going. They didn't go quite like that. The girl was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, no, I didn't mean it. And I was like, oh, that's nice change. Mori, never mind if you aren't going to hear me explain, but you make it inch worse. Let's stop for now. Are you going to introduce me to your new girlfriend to me? What new girlfriend? She's just a classmate, Liya. I look at Liya, who is still standing far away and enjoying us. What? I don't want to be your girlfriend. Nobody's actually to be one. Come and say hi to Mori. Then you move aside. Fine. Let's side move a bit when Liya comes over to do such a Mori. This is Liya, whom I met in today's linear algebra class. And Liya, this is Mori. Glad to meet you, Mori. You too, Liya. Liya, do you know where the shelf for chocolates is? Go to the back of the shelf. I just came from there. Fine looking for Liya's car is almost half filled with all kinds of chocolates. There are dark ones, white ones, the imported ones, and the domestic ones. Plus all kinds of nuts and dried foods. Then let's go. That's too much trouble. We'll start to transfer some chocolates from Liya's cart into our cart. Wait, what are you doing? Standing right in front of him? Now only one person is needed to push a cart. That would be good enough. Isn't that right, Liya? Oh, does she just take every, chocolate out of a cart? Liya doesn't know what to say. Let's go. Okay, this way. To get to here to the chocolate section, I push the cart behind him. Will you get fat when you eat so many sweet things? I try to dissuade Mori as she keeps filling the car with chocolates. If you always behave this way, I think it might as well just give up looking for a girlfriend. Mori glares at me with a chocolate charm. She's a golden spirit. She looks as if she would want to eat me alive in this instance. I think it would be a pity to get Liya to be your girlfriend. I don't know what her motive is. Okay. They talk about them being a couple several times. They kind of joke, and say that other people see them as that and people think of them as that. But I can't tell if Mori is trying to get him a girlfriend or she has feelings for him. Because she always mentions she's not getting a girlfriend, but at the same time, I think it would be a pity if you get Liya to be your girlfriend. Don't make sense. Don't worry, I won't tell Mr. Liya Pants. I won't let Mr. Liya Pants pursue me that easily, unless some spirits are messing with fate. You always talk about spirits. You believe in them? What are you talking about? How could those things exist? That's why I won't fall over you. You should stop dreaming. Stop dreaming, Mr. Liya Independence. Why do you start calling me that? Yeah, what's the story behind Yanshin getting the nickname of Mr. Linear Independence? I volunteered linear algebra class. After the shopping spree where items got swept up like a whirlwind, they left the shopping section. They moved towards the area for daily necessities on the second floor. Sometimes I can't understand how the friendship among girls can be formed so easily. Why are you following us? Do you intend to go to the daily necessity area with us? I'm not allowed? Of course not. What are you thinking? Just wait here. Liya suddenly blushed and then left for Mori. Give my Mori back to me. I should be the one shopping with Mori today. Dang it. And then I could only wait around and guard the shopping cart. If you also like, I feel bad for the guy. Alright. Their eyes are disappearing, even though life can see a lot of changes if one looks at it this way. I always see Mori sleeping on the upper bunk with her tail hanging out of the comb, and I wake up every day. That's a constant part of my life. Every time I wake up, look out the window, there's less sunlight from outside. And then I'm almost finished reading the deck book Liya gave to me. Yeah, I've never been so deceitful. Then I found out Liya attends a lot of classes with me, surprisingly. Just as we had discussed before on whether to take the same professional class together. But Mori's just the opposite. I've hardly attended any class from Mori. His special classes advanced mathematics, and I can't keep lying here like this and let my mind wander. Maybe it's nice to get your classmate for a whole once in a while. At the start, I knocked the bedboards above. It's more than time to get up. It's okay, I don't have class since you sat in class. You can go ahead. She murmurs. We don't have an early breakfast and nobody late for class. What are you saying? How can I qualify as a college student if I'm never late for class? Can't understand her. She's still asleep. Doubtful. I wash myself and change my clothes before going out. The queue in the canteen is so long this morning because there are so many students. The canteen offers food at low prices compared to eateries outside of the campus, although the taste isn't as comparable as those eateries. According to Liya, people are just being fussy. I ordered 2 cream buns and a pineapple bomb at the counter. When I turned around and glanced through the entire canteen, all the seats are fully occupied. Hope I can find a seat. Finally, there's a table in one corner and only 2 more students are sitting there, so I walked there without any hesitation. Expecting my arrival at the table, those 2 guys suddenly leave their seats with unfinished bread in their hands after smiling at me. That's weird. I look at them in disbelief before sitting down to eat my breakfast. Oh my, looks like a Mumachav become Yanshin's girlfriend after Mori. What's her motive? What's her motive? She doesn't want Yan, right? It's not like she doesn't want Yan at all, right? But sometimes she stays. And there's that girl again on the left. They all look kind of weird. And you got that girl on the right that kind of looks like that one chick from Mayo Chicky. I forget her name. The one that says that dresses as a boy, but it's actually a girl. I forget her name, but it looks like her slightly. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Liya came out of nowhere and sat across from me. Why are you here? What did you say? I'm going to be Yanshin's girlfriend from all these rumors. After several strong protests, Liya finally stopped calling me Mr. Linear Independence. Are you joking again? How's that possible? Otherwise, why did those 2 guys leave with their unfinished bread? Obviously they felt awkward as they thought we're seeing each other. I look at Liya in stunned silence. It feels bad to throw those 2 innocent guys away before they could finish the food. You're having such a hearty breakfast. Be careful with your digestion. Don't worry, I can eat a lot. How about you? Why do you come here to have such an early breakfast? Are there any days where I didn't come here early after class? Normally you always wait for a girl to reserve a seat for you, and then sit there with no sense of shame, yes? I never took that seat with no shame. My eyes are always filled with gratitude whenever I'm past you. You didn't see that? Oh, I really didn't see that. How did your eyes look at the time? Show them to me. So I close my eyes, try to imagine the person before me as my savior, and I'm supposed to devote my savior. Open my eyes, place all my emotions on, and stare at Liya without blinking. Stop, you guys are like boys who've never been in a relationship and then they never been in a relationship and they suddenly see it go like that. They like, I can't see anything except a horny desire. I'll lose my appetite if you keep looking at me that way. It's respected. It isn't easy to express my gratitude to a girl with such a sharp tongue. What is that horny desire? I have girls around me. But Mori isn't your girlfriend. Willie, let her go. But since I've been keeping the seat for you, all those in the same class have thought you're my boyfriend now. Even there's a handsome man in class, he won't dare to sit next to me. There's at least one seat between me and him. You have to take responsibility for this. How am I gonna take any responsibility? You said you would never fall in love with me, even if I want to take any responsibility. That's true. But I got up and went to a classroom with Liya when Liya finished her breakfast. She spent too much time doing breakfast, seems it's impossible to sit at the front board today. Gosh, really eat slowly. The seat's almost entirely occupied. I can't select classroom to an open. The professor's over there and there are only 2 seats available in the last row. Liya passed me and I grabbed her hand before I take it. The professor's over there. Let's enter from the back door. Liya's standing there. She's looking at my hand. What's wrong? Your hand. Liya suddenly whispers while blushing. I quickly released my hand, my face red with embarrassment. Sorry. It's always side time for class. Go to the last room in the classroom and a girl who sat there glanced at us. She took the 2 nice seat next door. 2 empty seats became adjacent to each other. Liya looked for a moment, walked across quietly and sat near that girl. I could only follow her silently. I'm taking this event of my math class very seriously. Both Liya and I are listening to Professor intensely. Okay. I got some problems with this. I got some problems with this whole vision novel. Okay, at Fox Hime Zero, there was a lot of build up. I guess you could say there wasn't really truly. I mean, they did get help, so to speak, if you want to call it that. I'm trying to be together, but normally most of them did it themselves and work out the problems themselves. Yan and Mori. The one time that there was any, I guess, if you want to call help, I really can't, is when ruri turned Mori invisible. They try to get them to not be together, but then they ultimately stay together, and then, yeah. This one, it feels like everybody, and I mean everybody, is like helping him, or helping them. So it's like whenever, it's like the whole school's on it. And when they see there's 2 girls together, or a guy and a girl just together, you know, not even realizing they might just be friends or just know each other, they automatically think they're dating. And every like body like moves so they have a seat together, and they're smiling. Like, what kind of college is this? I mean, I understand maybe friends, you know, helping out, you know, somebody to get with a girl. But we're talking about like complete strangers helping them out for no particular reason. So I don't know. This is just weird. I don't really feel like there's much build up. It just feels like oh, you know, you 2 walking together. You must be dating. Let's get them even closer. So it's like every girl. Something's happening to Mori too, and then. You got Liya, like, first of all, if they think they're dating, but they think Mori, you think Yan's dating Mori, but then people think Yan's dating Liya, then one that causes more issues because they're dating 2 girls, it feels like, and one that causes tarnishes reputation, I don't know. On the professor's favorite, oh, he still has some humor. Liya says such a chat with me near the end of class. I can't tell if that's a guy or girl. I think that's a girl. But it's hard to tell. I thought you were working in that old bookstore and also lived there. Is that true? Yeah, why? I think the old bookstore may have been many interesting books. And then there was a full shot, and she's gonna be there because she likes books. And there was at the bookstore. She will be at the bookstore. And then probably realize Mori lives from 2, and then whatever happens then. Oh, speaking of books, I take out the Treatise of Human from my back. I more or less finished reading this book. Some parts are really interesting, which is unexpected. Send me real the interesting parts. Liya's eyes are glowing with pleasure after hearing that. I knew every word in some parts, but when they were combined together, I became totally confused. Liya burst out laughing. I see, that's really interesting. Don't tell me you understand all of it. Of course, that's my weapon. How could I wield it to attack my image if I don't understand it? Your tone sounds as if you're lying, classmate Liya. Actually, there are many interesting books in the old bookstores. Sometimes I feel surprised to see books in this room when I'm transcribing. What type of book? How about coming over to see for yourself? Since it's a weekend tomorrow, if you're free, I could text the address to you. It's not far from campus. And shit, you don't have any plans for this weekend? Not really. More and I have to stay in the store and transcribe some old books. Okay, I will contact you when I reach the bookstore. We probably raised after leaving class. We went back to the dormitory and I returned to the bookstore to do some work. Well, I was right halfway, just going to the bookstore. Actually, I do care. Actually, Mori and I have lived in the dormitory when we entered college. Not long afterwards, Mori told me one day that maybe both of us should live together outside campus. And Shin, I want to live with you. That was at dusk. Mori approached me when I came out of the classroom after finishing my art appreciation course. But the university dormitory allow it. Then we can live outside. We don't have that much of a budget. We can find a job which provides accommodation. That will solve the problem. Even if we find such a job, people from outside won't let us live together. But there may be some exceptions. Not everyone will follow normal behavior, and we will happen to be exemplars to that. And that was the case. When we found the old bookstore and said Mori and I wanted to live together, Mitch immediately said yes. It's good for both of you to live. It's better than climbing with others in a small dormitory after all. Usually even we would just describe book crowdly. When the sun was asleep, we would return to our own beds. Sometimes people would talk for a while before going to bed, but it was just I tried to Mori was maintaining some distance between us. Every time I tried to get closer to Mori, she would always decisively push me away. Tomorrow, Liya may come to visit us. Stay at the other side of the bunk above. Okay. When the time comes, we should invite her to our room. There's no cheerful customers in the bookshop after all. Yes. After a while, Shin, are you worried about Liya seeing us live together? No, I might just explain it to her. Why? You've never invited Alicia at home before. That's because I've had no friends to invite home before. Close my eyes and take it for a while. But actually, I'm not too sure either. Fall asleep as darkness sets in while we were talking. Now you knew I'd get up at shrieking, trying to set an alarm. I didn't know exactly when Liya would turn up. I thought she had arrived at the phone ring and would wake me up. I remember one thing immediately. Mori was probably eating all the snacks we bought recently. If so, there's none to give to Liya. That'd be horrible. Mori is time to get up. I stand in front of the bed and knock on the edge of the upper bunk. Liya's here? Mori asked Daisy from behind the corner. Not yet. I haven't received a phone call. The snacks you bought a couple years ago are there any left? I try not to give up hope yet. You can look in the drawer and see if there's any. Mori stretched out her hand and punched a drawer in her work desk. I punched the desk and opened the door. It turns out there's nothing but a pack of tea leaves. We'll bury the tree, I guess, this way. I left the bedroom to clean myself in the bathroom. Mori had got up and changed her clothes by the time I came back. Liya isn't here yet? Nope. Wait, was she so we reading books in the bookstore? How's that possible? I plan to go out and see where I can buy some snacks from a nearby store. After walking downstairs, I see a girl standing between the bookshelves inside the bookstore, and she's of course reading a book. From the girl's beautiful and honest features, she looks gentle and solo. I approached her gently. I thought we had an idea. You called me when you were here. Yanshin? I told the senior at the receptionist that I'm going to visit Mori, but she told me Mori might still be asleep. I thought it'd be better not to disturb both of you. So you've been reading the books here to kill time? Yes, the books down here are really interesting, just like you said. Liya placed the book back into the shelves. There's a moment when I die, it would be better for me to buy the whole bookstore. Come on, are you a rich girl from somewhere? You never know. I'll forget it. See, I bought a cake. Liya went back to the counter and brought over a fancy box from the senior. The senior glanced at me and smiled. Please lead me to the room of my classmate who's non-linear related. I currently nodded hopelessly when I see my senior smile at me. I was worried that there's no snacks to eat when I got up. I was just on my way home. On my way to buy some. I know you actually won't think to prepare snacks for ghosts before, so I bought a cake. Liya smiled mischievously. But you did us a big favor, please come in. Open the door to your room. Mori has always set the table up beside. Liya Zero. Oh. Adorable. That's adorable. So adorable. I don't really know what to make of this whole thing. I'm mixed emotions right now. I can't. I relate to Fox Hime Zero, which I can't really relate too much because this came out before it, and I think Fox Hime Zero was a great development theme for it. And they had a lot of things right, even though there's something like the love between Yen and Mori. I feel like was a little too rushed, but they did spend time together and all that and go out, so it wasn't overly rushed. But it's really hard to place where the score stand and what the thing is. Like, I think the whole thing about this is getting Liya the girlfriend, but it seems like Liya doesn't want it, but she brings it up every so often. Mori seems the same way, so I don't know the motive. I don't know what they want. I don't know if they like him or if they want to stay. Like they said, Mori's stays distant. Maybe that's because she doesn't want to get too close to him and fall for him. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't know what Liya's is for. She's very snarky. I don't like her too much, to be honest with you. It smells delicious. yes. Wow, ruri is that for cosplay? Oh, she forgot it is. Me too. Liya's a bit surprised when she said it and touched Mori's ears. It's warm when I touch it. It's just like the wheel. Then Liya found Mori's tail. Oh my god, what kind of things did you force Mori to do? Never thought you have such strange habits. No, I didn't do anything. I did not explain that Mori suddenly revealed the truth about Fox Bear for Liya. Liya, Yanchen always bullies me. How did he bully my lovely Mori? Tell me, I would teach him a lesson. Just now, before you arrived, he looked at my door and stole my snacks. I get it, Yanchen is horrible. All my snacks have been eaten up to by him. Wait a minute, don't want any snacks in the door at all. Don't quibble, it's a criminal offense for you to peep at your ghost store. You mistakenly ate the snacks inside. That will get you a death sentence. I feel like Mori is just setting us up for failure. She wants Yen to get a girlfriend, but she is strictly doing everything in her power to stop that from happening. The death sentence? Your laws are so tough. Oh, I ate any snacks for this weekend. Don't panic, I bought over a cake. Wow, Mori loves Liya the most. Liya also loves Mori the most. Liya touched Mori's ears again while talking at the same time. As punishment, we shall forbid Yanchen from eating this cake. Good. Mori receives the cake from Liya and I become a thief who stores snacks. It's beyond reason. Now see why this cake is delicious now. Liya glances at the bunk after handing a slice of the cake to Mori. It suddenly feels awkward when her eyes fall on the coin on the bunk. I'm going to make some coffee. And won't do just eat cake alone. I left the bedroom, leaving the two girls there. Only half a cake is left when I come back. Mori really loves to eat sweet stuff, but doesn't get fat. What's your secret? Secret? No secret. Just eat it like this. Your words make me feel Coffee Zero. I pass the capture them. This is where learn some sleeps and studies. Yes, I used to sit there to transcribe books. I sit there. Mori punched a nearby chair. I also like to sit next to lovely Mori. Dang. Yes, smooths Mori's tail. Tail is moving and Mori is really lovely. I also like to sit next to Liya, who bought the cake. I guess she doesn't care about ears and tail being touched. Whereas in the other one, she didn't like it. Aren't the two of you always sit next to each other? Really? Looks like I need to consider the idea of buying this place and throw Yen out. Why do these turn out like this when these two girls are together? Come on, I invited you here to recommend books for you to read, not to mock me. I'm okay with whatever books, but I can really see how weird you are. Hey! How do you make a lovely girl cosplay into such a vivid fox? It really makes people envious. Are you indicating that you are more dangerous by saying that? Originally, I just invited her to come for the books, but this is the result. A boy inviting a girl to come over, only to read books on the weekend. Only a nerd would do that. Don't try to talk any sense to Yunshin. That guy has lost all of his common sense a long time ago. I think both of you aren't talking sense. It's very weird that you two could talk so easily in this situation. I'm worried. What are you worried about? Whether this guy can find a girlfriend or not is really worrying. If he can't, he may eventually do something to Mori then. But don't worry, I will surely protect you. No, Yunshin won't do anything to me. So, if an accident happens, you must call me. I'll zip over in the shuttle and come for you. I can't say anything about them making fun of me. Liya suddenly looks at me when the cake is almost eaten up. During the week of holidays coming soon. Do either of you have any plans? I might resume work at the bookstore after going home and coming back. After all, describing books is like reading books in a way, and I don't hate it. How about camping? Good idea, I like that too. I almost couldn't understand them. I've never heard either of them mention their interest in the mountains or forest. Then do it. We can decide a day to go to the gate when the time comes. He looks outside, it's nearly even as she stands up. Time to go. Fine. Then I'll sleep for a while. Go ahead. Mori climbs up and goes to the corner on the double bunk. I'll show you out. Although I guess as much that both of you live together in one room, it's really true. Liya said gently to me walking across the staircase corner Lennon. Both of you are living together in one room at such a young age. You still say Mori isn't your girlfriend? You mean to say she's more than just a girlfriend to you? Nothing happens between us. See Liya felt nervous. Did that arise from the desire to protect Mori's image, or to prevent Liya from misunderstanding me? I'm not sure. There's so many uncertainties in my life. You always feel lost. I didn't read all the way. I also believe there's none between you. Maybe it's really like what Mori said. Your common sense has been lost, but how could you lose it when it's so boring? Maybe he has common to lose common sense, but someone has been with regards all this time. I think this also applies to you, Liya. You keep walking downstairs while talking. Other people will keep away when you saw a boy with me. I can guess why. There's a joke with Mori. Boys with common sense wouldn't dare to come close to us, yet Liya, you're here with us now. Then as Mori said, you will pursue a girl who would dare to go near both of you to be your girlfriend? No, I mean, you're also a person without common sense. Smile on my face because when. Right, maybe common sense isn't that important and experience also isn't necessarily that reliable. Maybe I should have been in the book. Traces of Human and turn to another book. Don't need to see me off here. See you on Monday at the university. Okay, see you on Monday. Let's go hiking. That must be the hiking trip. The last classes events mathematics before the holidays. Classmates are doing their best in the exam after the professor disturbed the test papers. After all, an attractive summer holiday will arrive after this class is concluded. The exam I see is a bit far from Liya. Her seat is quite far from the passage. I can see Liya face at one side and she's holding her pen absentmindedly. Is this girl okay with the exam? The exam which lasted 90 minutes passed quickly. After the professor had collected and sorted out the test papers, he turns and looks around at all of us. The golden week holidays are starting over. If anyone can find a boyfriend or girlfriend, see me after holidays. I will fail everyone in this test. Tears become crazy after hearing that. Return the test paper to me now. Sure, it's none of your business. My teacher ignores everyone and leaves the classroom immediately after packing up the test papers. You're not leaving the classroom by falling on the ground. Finally, the holidays will start tomorrow. Yes. I know you were absent-minded during the exam. What were you thinking about? Thinking about the holidays. Why? Teacher will fail me if I can't find a boyfriend. This is very serious. Teacher only told us after the exam. Besides, that Benjamin Meg's teacher is definitely kidding. It's easy for you if you want to find a boyfriend. In other words, if I express my love to you, you will accept me, am I right? Liya stopped out of the blue and stated seriously while staring in my eyes. Impossible. That sort of thing won't happen. You said you won't fall in love with me, let alone express such feelings. If something is impossible, then it can be done. You're right. Looks like I gave you a fight. I don't know her motive. I think she secretly likes me. That seems like the most logical solution. Liya continues walking while laughing cheerfully. Then we'll go hiking tomorrow. I can still hear her voice. Mori is already back when I returned to our room at the bookstore. You're back? Yes, I'm back. Tomorrow was the first day of our holidays. Yeah, we're going to a hike tomorrow. By the way, why would you agree to Liya's impromptu suggestion? Because hikers are bad. You want to go to the seaside and see Liya in her swimwear? Mori smiled slyly. Why did you mention swimsuit suddenly? I mean, we're viewed lots of hills at home. There's nothing new for us if you go camping. Not necessarily. We've been living in the mountains. But Liya will be with us this time. I think it would be different. You're right. No, I'm asking you if there are any places you would like to go after that. After all, the holiday period is hard to come by. I only like to go hiking. Mori stared at me and smiled. Maybe I don't know Mori well. But it might also be possible that I never understood her. As a goddess spirit, she's been with me since I was born. She has grown up from a little girl like normal girls. Sometimes I wonder whether this is really necessary for a goddess spirit. This is the work assignment for the summer holidays. I just got it from the senior. Mori's pointed at the bookstore table. Ah, so many. Look at the large pile of thick books on the table. A cursed store owner, are you thinking of exploiting us during the holidays? That's our tax, both of us. There's no books on Mori's table, might look there. I'd be a huge sign of relief. That's better, what a fight. Mori laughed. Anyway, let's hurry up and start working. Okay, let's do it. From noon at night, and from evening to bed, I'm gonna keep working inside the room. Get some rest. It can't be done in 1 or 2 days. We need to get up early to take the bus tomorrow. Just by lifting my hands overhead to relax my shoulders. Okay. Let's clean ourselves up first. Mori and I took turns to watch the strip before going to bed. While I turned the lights off, when I experienced our bedroom really like water. I stare at the bright wooden boards above our lying on the bed. My mind's too preoccupied to sleep. You can visit your mother after you finish the camping trip. Excellent. I miss her too. It's been a long time. Not that long. It's only been 4 months. I've never left her for so long a time before. Previously, my mother told me that you would leave me when I grow up. But when? Look, I'm a university student, and I'm tired of my mom. I am an adult according to the law by now. I don't know either. Mori spoke in a low voice. Then it's up to you. You can decide it by yourself, right? Not really. You You want me to leave? No. Actually, I've always been afraid of the day when it happens. I studied Mimo, time to relax my mind tearfully, and I found myself growing rapidly taller at middle school. Mother, am I growing up? Is Mori leaving me? My mom crushed my head with a smile. Liya, you're only growing taller by a hand. As a middle school student, you still cry like a kid. Have you seen any adult that would cry like you? Exactly. Don't you find it embarrassing? I'm still here. I suddenly feel reassured and happy when I noticed Mori was smiling there at one side. Since then, I never quite found my mom. Nevertheless, I kept wondering Mori was saying leave me. So I always ask Mori that question distinctly ever since. I haven't grown up yet, right? And Mori would always enjoy a smile. Why would you keep asking the same question? It's almost the same as the one you asked when you were a little boy. You know how to stop me from growing up? No, growing up is unstoppable. Even for a godly spirit, you can't do it? No. Although I attended school together with Mori when I was in high school, and I knew that growing up was unstoppable, I still answer that question sometimes. You won't leave me if I would. Remember to say goodbye to me if you want to leave. Okay. Every time I ask that question, Mori will give me a positive answer quietly. Then I gradually stop asking such questions. Now I'm a university student, and Mori is still here. I gradually get the impression that my mother lied to me about Mori leaving me to find me. Like all moms, they would coin several life skills to kids. And so it would be really good. That's what I would often think. Mori, how would you consider pushing 12 growing up? I asked Sally after waiting for a long time. What to say, some people just understand things better at an early age, doing the right things at the right age. Or some people like Yanchin would still cry in front of their mother like a kid at a high school student age. Forget about that. Mori burst into laughter softly. People will grow up somehow. In ancient times, boys at 10 years old so would already have achievements, get married and have children. Mori said slowly. But no matter what happens, people will always grow up, right? Right. Eventually, he will leave me. Mori sighed for a while. Yes. Let's go to sleep, it's late. I pull up the quilt and cover my head. During the night, I dreamed of a time when I was a child. Mori took my hand and guided me along a dirt road leading to a shrine in the dream. We alternated between walking and stopping along the way. Walking up slowly, it seemed we were attracted by the landscape beside us. Actually, we were worried that we couldn't find each other when we arrived at the destination. That's why we kept finding each other to walk slowly. But we couldn't stop our feet from moving forward. When we were about to reach the end of the road, my panic sounded the ground and started to cry. I cried in my dream, and woke up. So for a night drink. Good water. Waiting for a hiking trip is a mountain within the provincial boundaries of the city where my university is located. When we arrive at the foot of the mountain, I look at the forest and blue sky and start to worry. We say we're hiking through this place. It's hot. Yes, we're going to cross through the forest and climb the mountain. It seems sparsely populated. Actually, we should pick a mountain where nobody would come. No point in going to quite a place. That's how we should explore nature. People, wipes away the sweat on her forehead. No need to push yourself, Liya. Mori confronts Liya with a smile. Mori, you're so gentle. If you get in trouble here, it's hard to ask for help. Nonsense. How could we get into trouble? Even so, we can handle it by ourselves. That's why we're here. People live in the city now. There's no chance for us to apply these wilderness survival skills after learning them. As we're here, let's make the most out of it. We rush for a while and then enter the forest through a narrow path. It's a small path. Maybe there's all inhabitants deep in the forest. How do you know this place, Liya? I searched for it from a satellite map last night. You know what I decided to do last night? This is there any problem? Too casual. However, we still walked photo into forest in an orderly manner. It's more cozy here after entering the shady areas provided by the trees. Hang on. Okay. There's more cozy here after entering the shady areas provided by the trees. I know I'm kind of messy. You might hear stuff. I'm kind of messing with my headset a little bit. Okay. Wait. You think it's a good place too? Yes, this place is good. Bigger trees are growing on both sides along the winter path. Trees along the sides still have ambient foliage, and they shield us from the sunlight. There are only a few spots where sunlight can filter through the cover by the trees. Generally speaking, it's comfortable to walk in the shade. If we walk into the forest, the path becomes narrower. There's also less sunlight filtering through. I shopped through it several times initially. I thought Liya made an imprudent decision. Then I realized it might be the best to explore nature on this trip. Have you ever gone hiking before, Liya? Not at all. How about Yenshin and Mori? My home is located deep in the mountains. Our hometown is surrounded by mountains. So, Yenshin, have you ever camped in the mountains? Nope. I added after a moment's thought. But the weather forecast said it'd be sunny the next few days. There should be no major problems. Liya, do you have any experience in camping? No, but I still have the knowledge. Liya says it confidently. This girl is always so confident. Sometimes it's really enviable. Continue ahead. Suddenly I feel the vision opens up. At one end of the forest is a small clearing where the path ends as well. Liya runs forward excitedly and screams, "This is the place! Let's spend the night here and get some rest. We'll see again tomorrow." I walk to a clearing and look in the distance. The sun is gradually descending. The sky has a brilliant orange hue. It's so beautiful. Nearby, Liya's in a trance. She's standing there and looking at the sky. Exactly. I'll probably see the exact same word through our eyes right now. Yenshin, I recover from my trance when Mori suddenly tucks up my clothes from beside me. It's beautiful, right? But we better set this before it gets dark. We need to set up the tents? Of course, we have to set up tents, otherwise how are we going to spend the night since the dew is so heavy overnight? I squat down and zip the knapsack to get the tents. Liya suddenly becomes embarrassed. I didn't bring one. I stopped releasing the zipper. I haven't bought a tent. Gosh, how can anyone talk confidently about having a camping knowledge without bringing a tent to spend the night? Don't worry, we brought a tent for 2 people. Mori suddenly walked to Liya's comfort door. Oh, well, it's alright in that case. Liya's son becomes happy again. Such a capricious girl. What about me? Is Yenshin thinking about spending the night together with both of us? Mori suddenly blushed while saying it. Thinking like that, indeed, is still prove it. You're the one causing all the trouble, I sighed. 2 girls will always come together in such an unexpected way. Can you sleep under that big tree? Liya looked around and pointed out the big tree nearby. Fine. Not so irritating. I sit up at him and Mark alone in silence. Liya, let's look around and see if we can find water. You're right, I'm almost ready. It'd be good to find a place to bathe. These 2 girls are playing something behind my back again. Then take your phones, don't go too far, come back before it's too dark to see the path. You know that. But it wasn't long before they came back happily after leaving. You won't believe there's a hot spring in such a place. Nice, beautiful girls in the hot spring. Usually such a blissful picture would happen only in comic books. Don't think about it too much, it's not going to happen in front of you. After checking out their interference, Mori and Liya went to bathe in the hot spring which they had found earlier. I lie with my back on the grass and look at the starry sky above through the tree branches. The sky can't be any clearer. The white moon looks just like a giant's eye. Really good, Rido. It's nice to soak in the hot spring when you're tired from all that walking. You think Genshin will come to peep? I think it doesn't matter even if he would take a quick peek, but just a glance, no more than that. Then would you like him to peep at your naked body? What you said is so ambiguous. Is it? In fact, I'm not sure about that. Liya kicks a water with her foot and produces a small crystalline spray. Probably realizes she'll probably listen. I would say the thing I don't like more than anything is the way some of these, it's a lot of visual novels and anime where they treat the guy so horribly. Like the guy can have no ill intention. He could be such a sweet, caring guy, but they just think the absolute wuss. You know, like I think they got feelings for him, but at the same time though, they just think he's a terrible guy. He doesn't seem like, yeah, he has like his fantasies, but he doesn't seem like the guy that's gonna peek on the naked girl because it's rude. So, and making him sleep like outside, you know, so I mean, yeah, you don't want Liya to sleep like outside either, you know, obviously, but you're just gonna do that to him? I mean, you're gonna make him sleep out in like the damp, you know, have probably a terrible night and everything. Like, I don't like that kind of stuff. It's like one of those things where, like, I don't know if a guy intentionally peeps or something, or intentionally does something bad, you know, or tries to actually see a naked girl, like, by peeping at them hot spring. At that point, all game. He deserves it. But, I mean, stuff like that where he just doesn't do nothing bad and he gets treated like crap. Kinda irritates me, not gonna lie. Probably won't look at your naked body even if you ask him now. Mori is saying it quietly after looking at the sky. You're so familiar with anything related to Genshin. I've grown up with him since he was small. That's true. Liya turns to look at the sky absentmindedly too. Mori and Genshin have grown up together, blood related. I say both of you are childhood friends and neighbors, yet it doesn't really seem that way either. Why do you ask? Simply because I'm suddenly interested to know. Mori, do you like Genshin? Certainly, Genshin has been cute from the time he was very small. I see. How small is very, very small? Shortly after he was born, when I passed by his house at the time, Genshin was crying in his mother's arms. Cried that was just like a kitten's. Aren't both of you the same age? Childhood friends? In fact, no, I've no idea how long I've been in this world. He looks at Mori in confusion. It was in the tail. Are you? It seems she has noticed something. And I saw the expression he's put on her face. Do you understand now? Liya wished her hand to touch the ears on Mori's head. They're the same as what I felt the last time I touched them. Unbelievable. They appear out of nowhere. Are you really a god in spirit, Mori? Dang, Genshin is really like a guy that's just a beautiful god in spirit who likes him. Liya, do you like Genshin? No. Suddenly Liya is extremely nervous. It's because herself to saying it. But Mori, how do you define like? It's really hard to give a specific definition. Then I actually narrate, what kind of things should people experience to get or for them to fall in love with each other? It's too hard to say. See, some people are just attracted to another person at first sight. Some people will live with others for an entire lifetime, yet they won't know about the love that a person feels until the moment death comes. What you say is too vague for me to learn from it. You're only looking at things in an overly complicated way. But to tell you the truth, I'm really happy when I'm together with Mori and Genshin. Liya turns to look at the sky. Take it back. I'm really like I was late for no reason that morning. You mean that? Sorry, there's a reason, and it's because of me. So in the supermarket, you also bumped into me on purpose? Mori smiles at Liya in acknowledgement. So everything's because of Mori. Liya looks down at the surface of the water. Why did you do all this? After I leave, please help to take care of Genshin, Liya. Mori looks back at the sky. When will you return? Liya looks at Mori in puzzlement. No idea. I may not return. If so, Genshin would be sad. You would definitely get over it eventually as time goes by. If I do what you've asked, then am I chosen by the spirits? Oh, okay, so it all makes sense. That's like a full circle, so everything Mori has done has been planned from the start. That's something else. That's interesting. So he's trying to. So it is like I say. I'm 100% sure that once Liya and Yenshin get together, Mori will leave because he's going up. Yenshin doesn't know it, but Mori knows it. That's probably why she keeps mentioning girlfriend a lot. Someone's poked my facial fingers to open my eyes, Bill. Literally. Mori's looking at me with a smile. Aww. I think she has ears right now. She adorable. She's like such adorable. Kind of wish though this is more like a sequel to Fox Hime Zero, because it's like a completely different name. So I want to say it feels kind of like one of those things. Well, this is another life, but if so, then Mori will probably try to go after him, but Mori doesn't really know him besides being childhood friends, you know? What's up, Mori? It's daybreak, you should get up. Where's Liya? She's gone fishing. Mori pushed an area in the forest. There's a river over there. I stayed up and look around. There's a crude stove made up of stones in the clearing. A barbecue wagon on the stove with a bundle of firewood lying next to it. Where are these from? I got the firewood. Liya bought the rest. She bought a bunch of unnecessary stuff and forgot to pick something as a boy as a tent. Does she want to have a barbecue in the wild so much? How far is that road from here? You want to go there? Yes, I have no idea where she could do it all alone, and I'd like to go check on her. It's that direction. It would take about 20 minutes to walk there. Got it, okay, I'm going. Is it alright for you to be here alone? I'll stay here to look after the place. We know she caught a big fish and is now wondering how to bring her back. I'll get going. Call myself with Liya if anything happens. Don't worry, I'm a fox spirit. I'll walk out of the camp and enter the depths of the forest. The path we found and had started in and out the clearing. This they actually extended further to the forest. It's just covered by small scrubs on both sides. It really feels as if there's another mountain beyond a mountain. When I go to the river Mori described, I didn't see Liya. Liya? Liya! I struck the riverside and heard Yaya's name, but couldn't hear Yaya's response. I look up at the sky, it seems to have turned a bit cloudy. The weather was obviously very good just now. It seems the weather forecast is really unreliable. I dialed Liya's phone, but only get a cold voice. The number you dialed is not in the service area from my phone. Liya? Liya? I'm feeling a little anxious. I keep shouting Liya's name loudly as I walk along the river. I wonder if Mori sees this up too. Liya, but Liya, when it starts to fall and my side begins to blow. With the constant sound of the wind hitting the tree leaves, I have no idea how far I have walked. Finally, I hear a familiar voice. Yenshin? Is that Yenshin? Such a relief upon hearing the voice. Since I'm exhausted, I go and trudge in the direction that it comes from. It's me, where are you? Here. I'm on my way, don't worry. After walking for another 5 minutes, I push aside the branch in front and see Liya sitting in the mud nearby, looking right camped. I sprained my ankle. The wind has soaked through her clothes and Liya has left her hand on the neck of which looks slightly red and swollen. She suppresses the urge to cry and looks at me with an apologetic smile. In my haste, I tripped over a stone. Liya tries to stand up. You fool, stay still. Apparently, Liya sits motionless on the ground. I walk up to Liya and squat down to check on her injured ankle. Does it hurt? Of course it does. The wind continues to fall. Let's go back. I turn around with my back facing Liya. Liya sighed for a long time, then after a while I feel a pair of hands grab my shoulders slightly. Apply a bit more strength or you drop down. Oh, it's right there. I was going to like change the scene, but then But I couldn't see the high UI because I was kind of playing in a bit. And it seems like he still looks like the same land again as the one from Fox Hime Zero. I put my hands behind me to hold Liya's size and exert my strength to stand up. Be more gentle. Liya grips my neck with both her arms immediately. I can't breathe, can't breathe! Liya pushes out laughing behind me. Once again, I focus my attention on Liya's injured left foot. Does it really hurt or not? You're still laughing. It hurts, of course it hurts. The path is red and slick, and there's an unslope ahead. I stagger along. I'm too heavy? Liya asks wearily. I'm fine. Liya sighed for a while. I haven't caught any fish. I keep a trip ending the failure. We'll go back when the rain stops. It's all because of me. Doesn't matter, we can play the new one and come here again next time. You are really gentle, Yanshin. Liya's voice is a little choked up. I'm guessing she might start crying very soon. Yanshin, are you so gentle to our girls? How about Mori? Well, of course I know are Liya and Mori. Rain is still falling heavily with hiding starts stopping. Suddenly I feel something soft pushed on my back, and my back gradually becomes warmer. Liya's body temperature slowly passes to me. We were so close, and she's leaning her head on my shoulder. Yanshin, what kind of things do you think two people should experience together before they fall in love with each other? Liya's gentle voice reached my ears. It's so close. How does it feel to fall in love with someone? You're thinking something complicated again. Nope. Yanshin, do you like Mori? Mori grew up for me. Mori is my guardian spirits. I feel like depressed by uttering those words. I see, Yanshin, you like Mori. I'll talk about it for a while. I like Mori too. Then Mori really is a popular girl. It's so enviable. Really enviable indeed. Liya smiled. Tired? Not really. How about resting for a while? More about this soon. It's just in front of us. Sorry for making you worry about me. Liya leaned on my shoulder and stopped talking. Maybe she's tired. When I entered the clearing we set camp, I saw the double tent standing alone, being washed by the rain. If I take a closer look, we didn't see more inside. I see her phone the only item she left behind. I turned her phone and notified my message. I've gone back. Oh. Wait, gone. You mean, wait. That can make two things. Gone back to the bookstore, which I did actually do alone, and leave a phone. Or took on the dates. Liya and Yan, if she's gone back. Because of Liya's injury, we had to eventually call the emergency rescue service. That's it. I couldn't keep a trip short. After going a week, I would try to stay until life at the university alone. Or then go back to the bookshop, and Liya's in hospital because of her sprained ankle. Every day when I go to hospital to see Liya, all of this is that so-called mature behavioral adults. And if I slowly turned around and head back, would Mori come back to me? However, I managed to reach hospital every time. Though Liya's in the hospital, she has an optimistic spirit and a cheerful disposition. Here's our today's class notes. I sit beside Liya in bed in the hospital and her notebook. Hang on, I need a minute. Sorry. I didn't know if this was going to be sad like the last one, but once I realized she went back, Mori went back. She did say basically goodbye, that you did let her know, so she didn't just up and disappear. But you gotta think, that's probably like what, 15 or so years they've been together? And she finally leaves. I would kinda hope that they would get together. And then she would never be able to leave, because they would be together. But it turns out the whole story was for Liya to get together. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. That's kind of makes me kind of sad because, I mean, it's, I don't know what kind of feeling it is. I don't know if it's happy sadness, because that means Liya and Lee will get together and he will be an adult and they will be happy. And Mori did say basically goodbye. She let him know. So it's not like she up and disappeared. So he knows what happens. But still, that's sad. I wouldn't say it's as sad as Fox Hime Zero with the whole transparent and, you know, all that, but it's still very saddening. I sat beside Liya bed in the hospital and handed her the notebook. I go to see her every day, but what can I do for her is limited. After all, she's a girl and I'm only her classmate. Oh, thank you. Liya takes a notebook with a smile. How about the young nurses in the hospital? They're beautiful, right? You want to talk about this? It seems your ankle doesn't hurt now, and you'll make a full recovery soon. That's because these young nurses are truly beautiful. After saying that, Liya looks down at her notebook. The impatient ward becomes silent once. Can you follow it? More or less. After all, you deliver a notebook here every day and it's recorded in detail. I never pay attention to class as much as I do now. I sit in front row every day. Amazing, amazing. Liya becomes silent again after saying it. Initially, we were both uncomfortable in such an atmosphere, but we're glad to get used to it. We can read each other's minds. Mori hasn't returned yet? Not yet. I see. Every time I come here, Liya would ask him question with an apologetic tone of voice. Mori might have left because of me. Huh? Mori told me maybe we were in the hospital that night. I don't think it's because of you, Liya. She was going to leave me sooner or later. I didn't really turn to look away from Liya and talk to myself, but she didn't tell me in advance, so... Really, I thought we'd make a deal about telling me in advance. We're silent again. Go and look for her. If it's Yinshin, you can definitely find Mori. But what about you? What about your notes? Liya suddenly burst out laughing. Yinshin, you'll definitely find Mori if you can still think like this. It's not a problem. I really can't figure out what the girl is thinking. Well, what's so funny about that? Nothing. Suddenly Liya stops and looks at me with a serious expression. You must find Mori, get it? Alright, you should go back now and start tomorrow. I look at Liya's eye and nod. Don't worry about me. If you visit me every day, the doctors and nurses will think you're my boyfriend. I'm really quite embarrassed and know how to answer them. Okay. After a routine visit to Liya, I went back to the bedroom and lay on my bed listlessly. There's still a part of unfinished work, but I don't want to move for a little while. I lay on my bed, watching the uneven for the monk above. Previously, Mori would be there. I bought me. I won't see her through the plywood, but I knew she was there. Now there's not enough there. I told myself to buy the train ticket online to go home for tomorrow. We have talked about going home after the camping trip. It's time for her to leave. Have I changed that much? Have I grown up already? What did you tell Liya? I closed my eyes and for a moment. Liya's alone in the hospital at this moment, isn't she? My thoughts turned to Liya without realizing it. How can lives be less important? Huh. This music. This music. It's kind of a sinister music at the beginning. Yeah. It's something like Sonic the EXE a little bit. I went to home and was sent back. Mom looks at me and knows I've returned to her alone. Mori didn't come back with you? Mori might have come back earlier. I'm gonna see anything else after that. Going out. Why, you just got back. Where are you going this time? Going to the shrine in the mountain. I walk out of the house after seeing that. Remember to come back early. Mom's voice comes from behind. The shrine is deep in the woods near my house. As I walk slowly along the muddy wood in the forest, the air is getting colder because the sun is less intense. The faint sunlight filters through the leaves above my head. Woman, several clusters. It feels as if we entered a dream. Sometimes it's really hard to understand where Liya gets her self-confidence. How am I gonna find more if she's not gonna see me? Once again, I'm convinced this one should the entire shrine and clarify inside to Mori anyway. But it's really unbelievable that I was motivated by Liya's casual remark at the hospital. At last, I gave up on looking for Mori. Sitting on the stone steps at the shrine's core line, I started to daydream. I leaned back against the stone pillars, which I thought into something like a fox. The even sun is shining on my body was feels warm and uncomfortable. First I got fall asleep, anytime I just start paying attention. I wake up without knowing how much time has passed. The cup is sized before me. Oh, I like this music. I think. Should we find Mori back? Okay. The ghost shriek in the autumn leaves that have scattered on the front line. Fox ears on the head are twitching, and the tears shredding, the same as when I woke up every morning. She's wearing a gorgeous princess rose with the sunset behind her, and she is smiling at me. Doesn't seem real. Mori? Setting up a stagger towards her. Yin-Chin, you've woken up. Mori is smiling at me. Why did you leave so suddenly? I say it calmly. Guess Yin-Chin doesn't need me anymore. Whether I need you or not should be determined by me. I know that's real, because I am a deity. They stared and allowed the time to pass slowly. Not saying anything to each other, and just looked at each other silently. Oh wait, please stay. I know my voice is choking, and I tried to hold back. But I failed. Wait, please don't leave me. I can't see Mori's face as clearly as the light from the sun passed through my teeth. I can't really make out the face that go for me. I go and see her coming slowly towards me and stroking my hair. Small memories have fondness me with joy. Sincere feeling at the time the procession was passing me, maybe I was shy. That girl was stroking my hair back then. Can you please stay with me, Mori? Mori, stubborn Yin-Chin. Mori still smiling at me. You would stop crying if I stroked your hair like this when you were small. I can't stop. The one who has lived with me for 20 years is leaving me. How am I supposed to hold back my tears? I lower my head as I say these words. She's leaving me, and I'll never see her again. We're together. If we went to school together. Sorry, choking up again. This is the sad part that's getting to me. We went to school together. We were also staying in the same room only just recently. Well, Yin-Chin, you're still stubborn as a kid. Boy, I beg you, don't leave me. Don't worry. I don't have to worry about you by now. Don't have to worry if I'm not by your side either. This sort of thing. I know, really. So Yin-Chin, please don't cry anymore. I can't bear to let you go. I know. Perhaps I've lost the ability to cry, or perhaps things are the same as 20 years ago. Like a Mori is beautiful. Even a new person would get dizzy by seeing her. You see, everything's fine, am I right? You'll find that girl who will replace Mori and love Yin-Chin, so be brave. I don't know. So wait, nighttime, I open my eyes again. Cold autumn breeze blows on my cheeks. I stagger to my feet and turn my phone to check the time. So wait, 9 p.m. There were 2 missed calls, both from my mother. Call back. Mom, I'm coming back right now. Alright, coming home. Stayed home for nearly a week. On the day before I went back to university, I received a message from Liya. Doctor said I'll be able to leave the hospital tomorrow. Wait, I'll pick you up at the hospital tomorrow if I can get there in time. Liya's probably came back shortly. I can manage alone. In the end, I didn't get to leave before she was discharged from the hospital. I go back to the second floor on the bookshelf and get a message from her. So, was that a dream, or was she only able to see her in a dream? I don't know. I've been discharged from the hospital and will attend the events in my medics class tomorrow. I lie in bed and look at the blanks on the bed above. That read the text message. Nothing about me has changed except your absence. Close my eyes. I see when Mori is resting her head on the desk after feeling tired from copying the books. It comes to my mind. Ah, this is really sad. Is Yin gonna try to get her back? Because I feel like it can't be complete without, getting her back. I feel like it's like 20 years, he said, 20 years of his life with her. That's something you just cannot replace. Who you fall in love with. Those years can never be forgotten. That's basically like a quarter of his life. Open my eyes, look at this, but she's not there. In case you decide to leave on your own, that's all. I've no choice but to accept it. Next morning, when I open the window after getting out of the bed, the cold wind blows in and makes me shiver. Did the weather forecast mention that cold winds are coming? I don't so doubtful. I put on a long sleeve jacket anyway. The street leans towards university's full of students as usual. Some are in a hurry, some are just walking slowly and chatting away. The laughter can be heard occasionally. By Mori, I'm alone for now. After a quick breakfast in the canteen, I go to the classroom for my advanced mathematics lesson. It's too early. The only main students in the classroom. I sit on an empty chair, take a book out my back, and put it on the table next to me. It's not nice to do that. It's against the rules. Only then do I realize this isn't good behavior. Classroom is constantly being filled with students, and the teachers are waiting into the classroom, but Liya still hasn't arrived. Maybe I should send a text message. Forget it. I'll wait a bit, Uncle. Liya comes in through the back of the classroom while I'm thinking about it. Yoli. Do you arrive on time every time? It's called an accurate calculation. Well, the lecture's starting. Pay attention. Liya begins to listen to the teacher intently. Everybody keep quiet. I go and move my chin to write down the notes mathematically. How about go to the amusement park this weekend? Fabulous, why not? Deal. Even when I'm seated at the back of the classroom, I can still hear my classroom small talk about me, but sounds interesting. And then, it's okay if you don't pay attention to in lectures. I'm fine. Almost all the exam questions are covered in this book. That lacks the exam proves it. By the way, I didn't get the test paper from the last exam. I don't even know what mark I got. I've achieved Liya's paper for the advanced mathematics exam. We had to take it from her back and drawer. Liya finds after seeing it. Just passed. How about Yenshin? 80 points. This is a bit unfair. I studied hard for it. I was just lucky. No chatting. The students over there. The teacher suddenly turned around to look at everyone, then turned back. There must be a point between the open range A and B. Focus on the lecture. Liya glanced at me with a smile and returned to the lecture. Did you find Mori? Liya suddenly asked me near the end of the class. Yep. That's good. Will Mori come back? I don't know. Probably not. Oh. The bell at the end of the class rings. Classmates walk out of the classroom, which creates a hubbub. Liya and I are the last to leave. Shall we go to amusement park as well? Let me think about it. If you'd like to go after you made up your mind, we can go anytime. Okay, then I'm leaving first. See you. I go straight to a bookstore after going our separate ways because none of us knew. I sit down at the desk and begin copying notebooks. Perhaps I'm doing this to escape or hope everything will go as usual. I was hoping to see Mori sit beside me when I regained my senses. Everything happened strong and splunky just like when she left. But still, I can't calm down. I finally give up and lie down on my bed. I know Mori won't want to see me so depressed, but I can't help but you. I'm beginning to understand how powerless people are regarding their feelings. Shall we go to the amusement park as well? Here's what suddenly echoed through my mind. It might be a good idea. Liya will worry about me if things keep on like this. It's sunny after washing up. I make a phone call to Liya. I'd like to go to the amusement park today. Liya, are you free? Yep. Then we'll meet at the amusement park once gate in the afternoon? Okay. I go to the amusement park after taking a quick lunch. I can see the Ferris wheel in the distance where I'm at the amusement park's front gate. Since this weekend, the park's full of tourists moving around. Liya hasn't arrived yet. I go and hang around and watch the crowds of people coming and going. Only Mori is here with us. An unrealistic desire came to mind. Because so too unrealistic, I can't help feeling sad. Yanchin! Liya appears when I'm having those fanciful thoughts. Do you want to? Liya's pets slightly. Just a bit. Take it easy, I'm not in a hurry. Does it go short? 30 more. Good. Let's go. Liya, would you like to go on a ride on any ride in particular? Actually, I have nothing special in mind. The main point of coming to amusement park is to see happy people. Because Yenshin looks sad all the time since he came back, so I thought, sorry to make you worry about me. Do you feel better? Slightly better. I look up at the people who are on the roller coaster. People are screaming silently and enjoying the freedom of a weekend. People's lives are wonderful, but you also have moments of sadness. You should you like Mori a lot. How much do you like her? Like a level? We've never been lovers. That's true. Then you become sunny for a moment and look at the Ferris wheel in the distance. The Ferris wheel is moving slowly. It's not as intense as the roller coasters. But indeed, it's changing slowly. Liya, what do you think has changed my life since that Mori would leave me? It's hard to say, but even if we can't express it clearly, things are changing all the time. It was hard to tell what others are thinking. Previously, I thought we'd never. Liya stopped mid-sentence. It's rather boring for us to stand there too. Let's walk around, Liya. You sure you have no particular why you want to try? Not for now. We just strolled around. Finally, we arrived at the base of the Ferris wheel. The sun's going down. The sunlight is lighting the whole sky. It's so beautiful. How about taking a ride on the Ferris wheel? I knew you were going to say that. Why do I feel like this is going to be a very romantic moment? Good idea. He smiled at me. He said the Ferris wheel. There's a jolt and the Ferris wheel begins to rise slowly. It's really predictable. It's extremely predictable. I really feel like this is going to be like Take It Together. Especially with the music in the background. Kinda puts it out there. But I would say in Fox Hime Zero, in this game, the music is really good. I can applaud it for the music a lot. So I really like this song. We say the verse where this show, the Ferris wheel begins to rise slowly. Liya is staring at the city and sky. That's a golden hue. The sun is shining on her face. I early stare at her. When did Liya become so beautiful? How did she look when I first met her? When I first saw Mori was let go of my height. Sorry, that caught me off guard. It's so fun to play for ears and tail. The books she carried before were so heavy. She was always there with me when I was sleeping, when I was having lessons. If I liked Yanshin, were Yanshin like me? Liya suddenly turned to me and asked me with a smile. Did I hallucinate for a moment just now? If I like Yanshin as much as Mori likes Yanshin, or Yanshin like me as you like Mori? Sorry, I can't stop details. It's just things. I'm a sucker for these visual novels and the music and the scene. Basically this same scene, like seeing what Yon experienced. Yon experiencing Mori in the same spot, but this time it's somebody else. That could be the level. It's hard to explain. It's just really sad. Liya smiled at me again. Will Yanshin miss me like you miss Mori if I leave as well? I don't know. I don't want you to lose. His favorite said if I lose. Liya turned to look out the window again. There's very slowly rising. The sunset and the horizon expanding. The great sea has become a maze of small boxes. They have almost reached the highest point. Yanshin, I love you. I'm momentarily at a loss for words. Do you feel troubled if I love you? Liya, you're the only one I have now. Then Yanshin, do you love me? I'm not sure. I don't want to be alone. But, can I? That's a slight answer, so I can decide where to leave you. No, don't leave me like Mori. Sorry I'm at a loss. But I don't know how to keep staying with you. Mori is Yanshin's golden spirit, but I... Liya turns to look at me, her eyes are glistening. They must be full of tears. Just being a classmate should be enough. Liya still smiled at me. Hold me for a while. Sorry, that was a quick zoom in. I hold her tightly in my arms, she also embraces me. The feeling is totally different from Kirito. Much warmer, much softer, almost much more tolerant. Thank you, Mori. Thank you. Wait, did they get together? I'm confused. I'm confused. Wait. I'm assuming they got together, but I'm confused because she said that being the ancient classmates should be enough. But that means they never got together. But Mori did say thank you. I'm assuming they got together because that's the only logical solution. There's no other solution in that. So, I really liked it. I just wish Mori came back. Well, Fox Hime Zero did a lot of things right. And they end up getting together. Oh, okay. Okay. I was hoping they'd do this. After graduation, I stayed and worked in save on my university. Okay, Liya also became wife, so they did get together and they got married. We had a child soon after our marriage. We took a kid who was less than a year old to visit my mother. Mom was sitting outside waiting for us. Welcome home. The procession welcomed the Fox Spirit for the festival currently taking place, and they will pass by downstairs soon. My child said he pushed out quiet when he saw his grandmother, my mom. Maybe he was shy or the drum beats from the procession were too loud, and he didn't calm down no matter how Liya tried to curse him. Oh wait, I feel like I'm going to see Mori. I feel like I will. Oh, he's just like Yanchin when he was little. Fox Spirit is very good at cooks and children. Yanchin was calmed by a Fox Spirit back then. Liya, why don't you make a wish to his Fox Spirit? Liya looked at me, then looked at our child in her arms. Yes, I should make a wish to the Fox Spirit. Ask her to protect our child until he grows up. After that, Liya carried our child to the window and allowed him to see the fox effigy in the procession. Shortly after, our child actually smiled and then he started to laugh. Oh, we. Our child. What would have made weird sounds? Liya is shocked, don't even speak for a while. Is that Mori? Is that Mori? Okay, so she did come back. Just as just years later. So so that kind of makes it feel like to be a constant cycle at all times. Well, maybe the baby will always cry when they're younger, so Mori would be the one to protect. She'll be like the guardian, the guardian spirit or whatever, for generations to come. So okay, now I feel a little more contempt for that. It's just the only part that's really truly saddening is the fact that years passed probably. I don't know how long it was before they got married, but I'm gonna assume like maybe 2 to 3 years passed probably. I don't know how long they was in university or how long it lasted, but I'm gonna assume okay, we'll say 4. Let's say 4 when they got married. So I mean 4 years passed we didn't see Mori. And they never forgot him either. They both were shocked. They never forgot Mori no matter how many years passed. And it looks like that she came back to care for the child, and then probably about simply will have probably for about 20 years or so. So I really did like it a good bit. So this is probably a much shorter series. It's probably about 4 episodes or so. 3 to 4, it depends how I do this. So I liked it a lot. And other problems I started having with it, I talked about at the beginning, and I started not having many problems with it because things started to make more sense. Well, Mori was in charge of it, and she was pushing Liya to Yen constantly, and just keep pushing Liya to Yen, and I feel like she didn't want them to be together. But after a while, I started realizing that that was her plan. She knew what she was doing. She was doing that from the start. But they ended up getting married, Liya and Lan, and having a kid together. So, and then Mori comes back after many years to be the spirit for their child. So, Just kind of tells me that they will always see each other, but there will be years where there will be some years where they don't see each other, but there will be many more years where they do see each other. So obviously love could go different ways, and you know, the kid might find love, you know, in high school, and then more might go away. But that tells me that, you know, she would continue coming back constantly. So I really liked it. I know the next game I'm gonna do will be, because right now it's the 16th, which this video will be uploaded. Also, and that's I will be doing probably another card game. It depends. I'll probably someone actually do. I forgot about. I'll probably do a card game, and I'll also have a two game that coming out. But that one won't take as long because that's about 4 hours, as far as I know. So anyway, I really enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys girls in the next series. Bye bye.
"ひらめく星たちが